Hey guys, today I'll show you an American thriller film called The Farm. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a Los Angeles couple named Nora and Alec are shown driving, and they find themselves lost while driving through the isolated countryside road. They arrive at a way station and pull over to check it out. They try opening it and find it closed. Nora wants to find a bathroom and goes to check the back. There she finds the remains of a camp, a discarded wallet, and a cell phone. She tosses them aside and she relieves herself, but she does not see the human skull, which was only a couple of feet away from her. After completing her job, she goes back in the car. While driving, Nora talks to Alec about the abandoned camp, which was behind the way station. She also tells him about the phone and the wallet that was left behind. But Alec doesn't seem to be too worried about the discovery because he is too concerned about the car running low on gas. Further on, the couple encounters a woman whose car is dead. Alec offers to jumpstart her car. The woman accepts the favor. While Alec goes to bring the car over, the woman asks Nora if she is married to him. The woman also notes that there is no ring on her finger. Nora gets weirded out by her statement and states that it's none of her business. The older woman gets offended by Nora. The old woman annoyingly says that people like her are irresponsible and begins insulting the couple. Alec tries to fix her car, but unfortunately, this isn't his field of expertise. The woman gets annoyed even more and calls Alec a shitty boyfriend. Now Nora is more pissed off, so she tells Alec to leave. They both get in the car and drive away, leaving the woman behind. While driving, Nora tells Alec that she hates the countryside because of people like the old woman. They find a diner along the way, and the two enter the place for a meal. The waitress comes to them and asks them for their order. Alec asks for water, while Nora orders a cup of coffee. When the waitress asks them if they need something to eat, Nora orders a burger, and Alec asks for the same. Alec notices that a man is staring at them weirdly, so they both decide to leave as soon as possible. However, just as Nora goes to the door, the man stands up suddenly and tells her she is not safe here. Nora shrugs off his warning and they leave the diner. Alec is seemingly concerned about the man, but Nora thinks he is just a local weirdo. After some time, they stop at a gas station and Alec fills the car. After paying, he asks the cashier for a place to lodge and he directs them to some rental cabins up the road. They both drive further and find a rusty cabin. Initially, Nora was creeped out by the shitty place and they reluctantly enter the house, thinking it to be empty. They both climb up the stairs and are shocked by the appearance of the crooked-faced landlord. The landlord kindly greets them, and he asks them if they are looking for a room. He guides them to a nearby cabin and tells them that he used to rent this place out to scouts and campers. The owner and Alec enter into a conversation. Nora finds the man weird and cuts short their conversation. The owner says that he doesn't get many visitors to speak to, but Nora doesn't budge. The frustrated owner leaves the cabin, shutting the door. After he leaves, Nora tells Alec that she feels something is off about him. While they are talking, the top bunk bed of the room is seen to be blood-stained. Since it's a horror movie, the director didn't want the couple to notice it. Later that night, after they fall asleep, a man is seen hiding under their bed. He slowly gets out and we can see him wearing a sheep mask. As the masked man stands up, he looms over the couple menacingly. The next morning, Nora wakes up to find herself in a dog cage. She gets scared and attempts to free herself. She calls for Alec, but he's nowhere around. A goat-masked man appears and thumps her cage, indicating her to be quiet. After some time, the masked man goes away and Nora uses this opportunity to try and escape. Nora spots a rock outside her cage, and with difficulty, she manages to squeeze her hand through the cage and grab the rock. She attempts to use it to bash the lock of her cage, but the goat man returns along with another man wearing a cow mask. The man in the cow mask comes near her and proceeds to pour some liquid over her head. Sometime later, Nora wakes up in a barn, and she finds herself strapped to a chair with her legs parted. A man in a rabbit mask comes and forcibly inseminates her with a large syringe-like tool. The man leaves the room as she keeps yelling in pain. The two masked men from earlier come back and carry her to her cage. In the next scene, Nora is being dragged onto a cart while she sees other masked people are busy doing their chores. There she even notices one guy butchering a male corpse. She is then taken to a barn and locked up in a stable. A few moments later, Alec awakens and finds himself in a cage as well. He's stripped of his clothes and gagged in the mouth. He finds that he is not alone, and that there are several other men together in the barn with him. He watches in fear when the masked men get in and begins bashing two of the captive men. The masked men secure them with a control pole and hit them with a hammer on their head. Alec resists and he attempts to escape through the opening, but unfortunately, he gets hit on the head and is knocked out. Later, along with the other two men, his unconscious body is loaded on a trolley and taken to a slaughterhouse for processing. It's shown that the compound is a farming commune. It's full of silent people wearing animal masks and the livestock being humans. They capture men and slaughter them for meat, whereas women are raised for milk. The meat is then used to offer a catering service for weddings and other ceremonies. It's revealed that the landlord is the head of this gruesome organization. The landlord is seen taking an order that requires more meat, and a worker informs him that they don't have enough men. So the landlord decides to use one of the women who are locked up for dairy uses. He goes to the dairy barn and we can see several cages holding lactating women. The landlord reviews their production rates and turns his attention to a mother with her baby. He orders a worker to take her baby and measure its weight. After weighing it on a scale, the worker smashes it on the ground and throws the body away. After the two cruel men depart, the mother is seen crying hysterically for her child. An unmasked man named Andrew attempts to console her, but he seems dim-witted as he speaks like a young kid. He speaks to the poor woman like a pet, and the woman lashes out at him. She calls him sick, and this angers the stupid guy. He calls her a bad human and tells her it's her own fault. Sometime later, one of the workers comes to investigate the dairy barn and finds that Andrew had killed the woman. The worker reports it to the landlord, and he clearly gets disappointed by Andrew's actions. He orders the others to find Andrew. Back at the barn, Nora discovers another captive next to her stable, and it's a woman who is being milked by a machine. When she asks what is going on, the woman replies that she doesn't want to know and adds that there's no way out of this shithole. The woman further explains that the people who run the place are the ones who spied on her and Alec at the rest stop, which they had passed earlier. The woman says that she has been kept at the farm for breeding purpose for 2 years, and she was bred to the point where she can't get pregnant anymore. Right then, hearing another crying voice, the woman explains it to be Ashley, who is also another 2-year-old captive. Nora tries to give support to Ashley by stating that they will escape, but Ashley states that escape is impossible from this place and that the masked men always find them. Elsewhere, one masked man searches and finds Andrew in the slaughterhouse, playing with a pair of decapitated heads. Andrews begs that it wasn't his fault, but he is still dragged back to the landlord. Because of that, the landlord scolds Andrew for leaving his post at the gas station and even tells him not to play around with his food. Andrew is then put under a masked supervisor, who instructs him to feed the caged men their meals. However, while feeding the men, he accidentally tips the food pot and spills all the food. Andrew begins running away in fear of punishment, and the masked worker follows him to the greenhouse. There, Andrew grabs oregano and starts running again. He runs to the landlord in the kitchen, and the wicked man happily accepts the oregano Andrew had brought him. The pursuing worker who was chasing after Andrew arrives and is later ordered by the landlord to get rid of those useless women who can't produce milk. To her shock, Nora soon watches the other woman being processed and slaughtered like meat. After the butchers go away, Nora collapses in despair. But soon after, she is roused by a sound at her door. Surprisingly, Alec is still alive and he arrives all bloody and clothed. The two escape the stables and quietly attempt to avoid the masked men. They make their way across the property, and Nora helps take the injured Alec to a truck for escape. However, the truck doesn't start in that critical moment, so the two are forced to keep moving on foot to avoid one of the masked people. Later, they come to a church, and the two finally get a chance to rest for a while. Right then, they notice the faces of Jesus and his followers, which are replaced with the faces of farm animals. A cow-masked man enters the church and we see him briefly praying. The couple attempts to sneak out, but unfortunately, they are soon discovered. Nora flees with Alec, but they are pursued by the cowman. He rings a bell and alerts the rest of the workers at the farm. While running, Alec is caught in a bear trap and Nora tries to free him. But after seeing the workers approaching, she is left with no choice but to abandon him. The masked workers walk up to him and crush Alec's head with a rock. Meanwhile, in the male barn, Nora seeks shelter behind a wall just as Andrew and the landlord get inside. A male captive notices her and silently instructs her to escape for her safety. Nora approaches near his cage quickly and begs to know how to escape the goddamn farm. Though with great hesitation, the man tells her about a bus that the workers used to deliver their praise and the location of the keys. After that, Nora makes her way and comes to a lot where several cars are parked. There, she spots a masked worker. Fortunately, a masked worker has his back turned to her, and she uses the opportunity to hit on his head with a hammer. 3 masked people spot Nora and rush after her. Nora quickly gets in one of the cars and starts it. She successfully drives through the fence, but shortly after, it runs out of gas. After getting out of the car, she is chased through the grounds. Eventually, she finds her way back to the stables where she unties Ashley. Later, the 2 women struggle their way forward and come to the bus, and sadly find there are no keys inside. Nora quietly goes to the house where the male prisoner stated the key was. She then enters through the window. Once going back to the bus, Nora and Ashley board the vehicle. Nora tries to start the bus and Ashley just stands still. Nora turns back, but much to her disappointment, she finds that the back of the bus is now filled with people in masks who have been waiting for them. In the next scene, the masked people from the farm are seen gathered at a table. Sadly, Nora and Ashley are prepared like roast pigs with apples in their mouths. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.